How would you move if you find out you have 6 months left to live and you have a set of skills valued by every single world government in the world? What would you do? Who would you kill? What would you change to make the world a better place for those who deserve to live in it? This is the story of the King of Spies by Mark Millar, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are not part of the family, click the subscribe button and join the fun because I drop comic books every single day. Now, let us begin. In Panama City, this is where our story starts off. We are introduced to a man who is a savant with guns. He let the gun talk. And when the gun talks, it knows exactly what to do. He knows exactly what to do. This brother was falling from the top of a building and he was still dropping folks in every floor. He had perfect aim and his situation awareness was peak because he was supposed to land somewhere. Granted, where he landed was inside of an ambulance where a woman was giving birth. She was so terrified, she shot at her kid like a rocket. Realizing he was still being followed, he borrowed the oxygen tank and asked, please cover the baby's ears, before he launched it like a missile to take out his assailants. He was good. He was very good. When he was done, he stepped out from the smoke and said to her, Roland is a very good name for a growing boy. Before stepping out and doing his work, he was still dropping folks. Bang, bang, bang. He was good, but he wasn't no god because he still got rear-ended by a truck. Thankfully, a train broke his fall, but on that train were the twins. They were here to put him down. He honestly felt like the whole city was against him, and they really were. He was a dangerous man. Even with the knife wound, he was still holding his own before one of the twins sacrificed his arm just to hold him in place, to use his katana and split him open. And it worked. These guys were absolutely crazy. He didn't think of this, so he pulled a Hail Mary, locking a charge on this train that was supposedly very flammable. It went up in smoke, and he found a way to escape. Told you, situation awareness was peak. And as luck would have it, he landed on a taxi. He screamed, follow that plane. That plane was where the captain of this whole operation was. This dictator prick who wanted to use this opportunity to escape. Absolutely sure that the twins would have killed the agent, but to his surprise, all his bodyguards started to drop. The agent was on this plane. How the hell did you get in this plane? Come to find out that he hitched a ride, and when he was done, the ride went flying down. His mission was complete. As soon as he knocked out the dictator, he ordered that this plane be flown back. He was good. His name was Roland King, and he was the King of Spies. Fast forward in the future, Roland is now an old man. He was doing pretty well for himself. He had a good life. He was healthy, or so he thought. Because even in London, in his apartment, he woke up coughing blood. This has been a constant for the longest time. He always wondered why. Chalk it up to just alcohol. He didn't have the time, however, to just lay down and sleep it off. He had business today, a big meeting that could not be avoided. So he called a taxi and he set off. But London was crowded. There was a lot of protests happening at the same time. He decided to take a walk. This wasn't the London he fought for. This place was garbage, filled to the brim with blood, piss, and disgusting creatures all around. We see that the meeting he had was with the Queen. She was here to give him a medal. This medal, however, wasn't for no bravery. It was for the sacrifices he has made, because he has made a lot. His son doesn't talk to him. He always wondered what type of legacy he would be leaving for him, because at the end of the day, his father was a hero, so was his grandfather, and himself, well, it was the same thing, but just in the shadows. And on his little jaunts around the globe, he ended up cheating on the people who loved him the most, especially his baby girl. And now, he was in the present. No one around him to cheer him on, no one to show him love. Except his best mate, Figgy. Figgy and himself were both agency's best. They had done a lot of shit they were not proud of, and a lot of shit they were. And while Figgy was content with his life, Roland was not. Everywhere he looked, he saw them, aristocratic pricks, without honor or respect, and whose value only stands in their bank account. They do not deserve to even breathe the same air as him. The tipping point came when he saw one of these so-called rich men disrespect the server. He decided to step in. Bruh, you need to leave. This ain't no place for your kind. But they didn't want to. You got something to say, old man? Talk your rubbish. And he was about to before he felt it like a shotgun to his brain. He couldn't even stand. He keeled over in front of everyone. He wasn't dead. Not yet, at least. The once great man was now riddled with illnesses. He had a tumor the size of a fist in his skull. He had only 6 months left. This news hit him like a truck. The nurse wanted to call his family, but he said, nah, don't waste your money. They won't come. They wouldn't, because his family didn't care for him. Ones that knew about his existence, at least. He was alone. The only person he had was his best mate, good old Figgy Newton. Nobody called, nobody wrote. He was discharged and he was alone at home. He was a hero, and now he was going to die. He couldn't accept this, but this was an unchangeable fact. He was going to leave this planet in 6 months' time, and in 3 of those months, he was going to be functional. The remaining 3, he was fucked. So just to calm down, he went back to the club to get some drinks, and he ordered for some cigarettes as well. He was already dying, and there was no point in him trying to live longer. 6 months, huh? What a life. From the corner of his eye, he saw those pricks again, and they were picking on another server. As he looked at the mirror, he realized he's got 6 months. He's got 6 months. Make right what is wrong with the world. Realizing these reptiles were heading back to the bathroom, he decided to follow, telling the server to order him a taxi. This wouldn't take long, and it really didn't. As soon as he stepped foot in the bathroom, it was on sight. He took out the guard by the door because he was the biggest threat. But even with his old age, he was still able to move swiftly and disarm the rest, using his own gun to put out his mates. One by one, they dropped like flies. And the big disrespectful one got a beating, a real beating, before he dropped him with a bullet to his brain. He was merciless. When he was done, he only saw red. Looking into the mirror, he saw himself, and for the first time, he had a purpose to achieve. He walked out there like a boss, got his cigarettes, and put one in his mouth like, yeah, I did that. Now, I have a goal. 6 months to live, huh? In those 6 months, I'm going to kill every demon, ruler, dictator that needs to be killed. I'm going to leave this world better than I found it, because my name is Roland King, and I am the King of Spies.